Welcome to MAT 2LB booklet number 7, Geometry, lesson number 1, Perimeter. When we talk about the perimeter of a figure, we're talking about the sum of all the lengths around the outside of the shape. You'll notice that in the paragraph explanation, we use the word polygon, and a polygon means a many-sided shape, which would include familiar shapes like triangles, rectangles, and lots of other ones, but we'll be spending the majority of our time working with triangles and rectangles when we're talking about polygons. And when we're finding the perimeter, we're talking about the sum of the lengths of the sides of that polygon. So let's start with example 1. It deals with triangles. So in example 1, write the equation for the perimeter of the following triangle and then calculate the actual perimeter. So let's start by writing out an equation. An equation has an equal sign. So we're going to say the perimeter will be equal to side 1 plus side 2 plus side 3 because there are 3 sides in our triangle. So let's go have a look at the triangle we're trying to determine the perimeter of. And if we're talking about the perimeter, you'll notice that one side length is 10 centimeters, one is 8 centimeters, and one is 6 centimeters. So that corresponds to the 3 sides we're talking about. And one way to imagine perimeter is to imagine that this is you starting at the corner of this triangle, and you're going to walk all the way around the outside of this shape back to where you started. The perimeter is the distance that you traveled to get there. So in this case, what we're actually asking you to do is add up the 3 sides of this triangle, 10, 8, and 6, which would give us a perimeter of 24 something. So we're going to go back to our triangle and just check it out. And the units of measure that we are using here are centimeters. So 24 centimeters, that will be the perimeter of the shape, the triangle in example number 1. So let's try A together, and then we'll let you guys try B on your own. So if we look at this shape, we'll notice something strange right off the bat. It's that we've only been given one side length explicitly, 10 inches. And this is it right down here. We've got one side length. But I want to draw your attention to the little tick, the little line they've drawn halfway through it. And that's math short code for any other side that has that same little tick in it will also be the same as the original one. So what that means is any side that has this little tick right here will also have a length of 10 inches. And this side over here, same thing with this little tick in it, it will also have 10 or be 10 inches long. And now this is looking more like a perimeter that we can determine. So the perimeter will be equal to side 1 plus side 2 plus side 3, and all 3 sides are 10 inches long. And when we add them together, again, imagine you're walking around the outside of this shape, the perimeter will be equal to 30 inches. Now what I'd like you to do at this point is hit pause on the video and try B on your own. When you've got it done, come on back and we'll see how you did. Okay, you're back. Let's have a look at example B. Again, let's get our formula down first and foremost. So our perimeter will be equal to side 1 plus side 2 plus side 3. And in this shape, let's imagine that we're starting over here. We've got a side length of 5, a side length of 4, and another side length of 5. So let's get those written down into our formula. We are going to have 5 plus 4 plus 5, and that will give us a perimeter equal to 14 feet. So 14 feet long, that's the perimeter of that triangle. Let's move on to example 2. Example 2 is going to deal with another type of polygon. Example 1, we were working with triangles. Now we're going to work with rectangles. And really, we're going to apply the same principle in that we are going to be adding up the sum, or arriving at the sum of all of the exterior sides of this shape, and the perimeter will be equal to side 1 plus side 2 plus side 3, and in the case of rectangles, a fourth side, side 4. So the same idea, let's have a closer look at this rectangle here. We've got 4 sides which we can see, and again, imagine you were going to be starting your walk over here. You're going to make your way around the outside of this shape, so we walk down this side. That is a side length of 12.5 meters. Now, a characteristic of rectangles is that the side opposite that side will have the same length. They'll share the same length. So if that side is 12.5 meters, the side opposite or across from it will also be 12.5 meters. Let's continue our trek over this way. Now we'll notice that this side at 9.9 meters, the side across from it or opposite it will also be 9.9 meters. and we're going to continue our trek around the outside, tackling that side and that side to get back where we started. We're going to model this in our equation, where we have a side that's 12.5 added to a side that's 9.9, added to a side that's 12.5, and added to a side that's 9.9. And now I'm going to grab my calculator, and that side, or that perimeter, will be 12.8, and the unit of measure will be meters. And that's the perimeter of our example number 2 rectangle. So let's try A here together, and then you guys can try B, and then you'll be on your way. So let's have a closer look at A. A is a special type of rectangle, actually. It's still a rectangle, but you'll notice that the two sides that are listed here, their opposite sides will also share that same length. So that side across from it is also going to be 4.9 feet. And this side over here, which is 4.9 feet, the side across from it will be 4.9 feet. And at this point we realize all sides are going to be 4.9 feet. And that shape has a special name. It's called a square. And we are going to determine the perimeter of this square by adding up all four sides. Side 1 plus side 2 plus side 3 plus side 4. They all happen to be 4.9 plus 4.9 plus 4.9 plus 4.9. Now we can figure out by using our calculator, whoops, that's a messy perimeter, there it is. We are going to get 4.9 plus 4.9 plus 4.9 plus 4.9 is going to equal 19.6. And our unit of measure, feet, FT. And that's how we figure out the perimeter of a square. They happen to all the side lengths happen to be the same. Doesn't change the procedure though. So what I'd like you guys to do is hit pause here and you guys try B on your own. When you've got it, come on back and we'll see how you did. Okay, let's see how you did on example B. First, let's have a look at the side lengths here. If this side length is 14.7, then the side opposite, it will also be 14.7 centimeters. Same over here, if we have a side length of 10.6, the side opposite it will also be 10.6 centimeters. Let's get that formula down. The perimeter will equal side 1 plus side 2 plus side 3 plus side 4. And we will start with 14.7 plus 10.6 plus 14.7 plus 10.6. Ouch, running out of space. And now we are going to add those up using our calculator. So we have 14.7 plus 10.6 plus 14.7 plus 10.6. It gives us a perimeter of 50.6 centimeters. And that is the perimeter of the last rectangle. So now we are at the end of lesson number 1. If you'd like to review any of these questions, please do so. And after that, head off to worksheet number 1, and I will see you in lesson number 2.